Hello! In this video, I will discuss about sexuality and marriage, part 2. It's a series, and the topic here is Christian living, family life, and marriage. So in this video, I will discuss about the things needed to prepare during engagement and evaluate the principles that most people violate about engagement and marriage, then implement in your life, future lives, the biblical and moral principles about marriage and sexuality. So in today's generation, where engagement are often centered on picture perfect proposals, hashtags, and Pinterest inspired wedding. Many forget that engagement is not about event but the preparation for a lifetime. As we have discussed last time, that engagement is not a preparation not just for the wedding day but for the marriage life, because wedding day is just one day and marriage is a lifetime. So you need to prepare. And that is the engagement time. That's the preparation for marriage, wherein you're going to talk about your spirituality, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, how prepared you are, or how are you going to do in order to cope with this to become mature. So engagements is not about the event, but the preparation for a lifetime. So it is a secret season of readiness, a time to align hearts, values, goals, and spirits before two lives become one. So before you say, I do, couple must first say, we plan, we pray, and we prepare. So, tatlong P: plan, pray, and prepare. So this lesson will help you rediscover engagement and marriage not just as romantic milestone, but as spiritual and moral covenants founded on God's design for unity, purity, and purpose. So always remember this. Engagement is not just about planning a wedding, it's about planning a marriage. It is the period for putting life plans into motion, aligning visions, and developing oneness in purpose and direction. So it means engagement is a time wherein you're going to prepare. So, what are the things to prepare during engagement? First, things to prepare during engagement: a shared life plan. Develop a 10-year, 20-year, even a 50-year vision together. So, what are you going to do? Because that is a lifetime. Example, a couple discusses their future goals, where they live, careers, and how they'll serve God together. So, saan kayo magtira, saang bahay, papatayo ba, ano yung career ng bawat isa, magtatrabaho, o kaya yung isa ay magstay sa bahay, and saan kayo mag-attend ng church, at ano yung i-contribute nyo, ministry nyo sa church na kung saan kayo ay a-attend. So, yun yung isa. Or develop a 10-year plan. So, within 10 years, may bahay na kayo, o ilan ang anak nyo, paano kayo mag-save, ano yung gagawin nyo para makasave kayo sa inyong finance, preparation for the future, ano yung mga dapat na gawin. So, within 20 years, kailangan ay maka-prepare. May sinulat kayong plan. Second one is a spiritual foundation. Agree on church attendance, prayer life, and shared faith practices. That's what I have told you a while ago. So it is very important to agree together what church are going to attend. You have to decide to attend one church and volunteer together in a ministry or something you can contribute to the church you are attending. Third one is economic stability. Plan finances before marriage, budgeting, savings, and investment. So, excuse me. So you will not just talk about your daily expenses, but you are going to talk also about your savings and your investment. Because you are going to have a family, meron kayong papaaralin someday mga anak. So, dapat meron kayong savings para sa pagpapanganak at pag-aaral ng mga anak. So, kailangan ay mayroong savings and investment. So, before marrying a couple, decides who will handle expenses and creates a shared savings account. So, yon. Yung kalimbawa dito na sinabi ko sa inyo na ang couple during their engagement ay nag-usap sila kung ano yung sino yung mag-handle ng kanilang finances, sino yung magaling sa kanila ang mag-handle. Eh pag burara yung nakasanayan kasi kailangan babae talaga. Eh paano kung burara yung babae tapos yung lalaki ay marunong? So kung sino yung marunong sa inyo mag-handle, kailangan ay siya yung mag-handle ng inyong finance, and then you have your own you have a shared savings account. Okay, so another one is educational goals. Support each other in finishing studies before marriage if possible. So kapag kayo ay nag-aaral pa, then you have to finish first. But if you are already graduate and you want to pursue, then you have to support one another. Example, a fiancé postpones the wedding until she finishes her degree to avoid stress later. So kung mayroon ka pang gustong abutin, di pag-usapan nyo yun. Uh, Before you get married. So, kailangan tapusin mo muna yung mga dapat tapusin na mga educational goals mo sa buhay. And number 5, another thing you are going to prepare and talk about is the parenting philosophy and sexual standards. Discuss how to raise children and maintain purity before marriage. So, paano yung palalakihin? Ano yung gagawin? So, you have to read books. You have to watch and ask those people who have gone ahead of you so that you will learn from them the principles they have applied. So example, a couple, they agreed to abstain from sex before marriage to honor God and build trust. So one way to honor God is to be faithful and to be pure until the day of marriage. So as we have discussed that engagement is the beginning of marriage, but that is not yet the time for sexual intimacy. You have to wait until after the marriage. So that is very important. Okay. So next is engagement is not just emotional, it's intentional. It's a time to get in gear for life together. So it means it's a time of preparation for the marriage, not the wedding. So yun yung dapat nating tandaan. So there are 5, preparation, a shared life plan, a spiritual foundation, economic stability, educational goals, and parenting philosophy and sexual standards. So, kailangan ay alam nyo kung ano yung mga dapat na gagawin para pagpalaki ng mga anak. Okay, so the next subtopic is about principles often violated during engagement and marriage. Many relationships fail because couples neglect God's principles in favor of emotions or worldly standards. A lot of couples or married life are broken because they were not able to prepare and they neglect the principle. They just follow their emotion or the standard of the world. So you have to follow the biblical principle in order to be successful in your married life. So there are common violations. So I will discuss some of the common violations. Laging na-violate ng karamihan kaya hindi naging maayos yung kanilang pagsasama. First one is neglecting spiritual oneness. So it is very important for you to have the same belief that you agree one another. You have the same perspective about spirituality. So sabi sa 2 Corinthians 6:14, do not be yoked together with unbelievers. It means you must have the same faith. You must have the same belief system, and you must agree so that it will not become an issue someday. Hindi siya maging cause ng inyong pag-aaway dahil magkaiba kayo ng pananaw or magkaiba ang inyong pinupuntahan na church. So for example, a believer marries a non-believer leading to conflict and lack of harmony. So marami na akong kilalang ganyan. So nag-aaway sila because of their because they attended different churches. So you have to be one and agree together what church are you going to attend. So dapat magkaisa kayo, pariho lang. Another one is ignoring financial preparation. So dahil na in love na, hindi na mapigilan, so sige, bahala na. Okay, so financial preparation is very important. Most of the married people the husband and wife, ang laging pinag-aawayan ay finance. Kasi nga hindi na pag-usapan during the engagement. So couples married without financial planning end up fighting over debts. Yung iba dahil burara, sa hindi marunong mag-ayos ng pera, hindi marunong mag-manage, so yun yung pinag-aawayan. Or kung isa man yung nagtatrabaho kasi hindi pinag-usapan, so later on ay napagod yung isa, so rireklamo, may didemand na ganito, ganon. Sinasabi nila na bill mo ko niyan, o kaya ay mataas ang maintenance. So mahalaga na pinag-uusapan yung financial preparation. Sino yung pwedeng kumita at paano ba kayo magtulungan. So yan, mahalaga yon. Another thing na isang nagko-cause ay unfinished educational goals. So, yung mga iba na kahit nag-graduate na, may gusto pang tapusin. Example ay ang couple marries in college without a plan, soon school and work stress-strain their relationship. Kasi nga, nag-aaral, nagtatrabaho, nag-aaral, may asawa, may anak, so nahihirapan, di maintindihan ng bawat isa. So, you have to finish first your educational goals. And another issue na isang dahilan bakit naapektuhan yung marriage life is sexual immorality before marriage. Sabi sa 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 3 to 4, it is God's will that you should avoid sexual immorality. As we have learned, premarital sex is a sin or tinatawag nating fornication. Yan ay kasalanan and there will always be the consequence. So engaged couples give to sexual temptation, confusing love with lust and damaging trust. So always remember that love is a secret wherein it is not based on emotion but decision. It must be agape love, unconditional. So yun dapat yung magbind sa mag-asawa na pagmamahal, and God must be the center, and you must have to follow the biblical principles. So obedience to God's order brings blessing. Violating His principle brings confusion and pain. So kaya mahalaga na sundin yung batas at tuntunin ng mag-asawa. Yung tuntunin para hindi kayo nag-aaway lagi, yung tuntunin paano pagpalaki ng mga anak, tuntunin paano yung pag-treat ng bawat isa, and you must also know the purpose of husband, the purpose of wife, and that will be the next topic in the next series now. Sexuality part and marriage part 3. So understanding sexuality in marriage, that is very important. So sexuality is God's design, not man's invention. It is a gift meant for procreation, pleasure, and communication to unite husband and wife in covenant love. So it is very important for us to understand. So what is the purpose of sex and what is not? So here, we're going to study first. I will show you what is sex is not. What sex is not. Una, sex is not love. Sex is not spiritual or emotional proof of worth. So, hindi yun nakabase dyan yung halaga mo. Okay, what is sex according to God's design? So, we are talking about the perspective of the Creator, not our own perspective. First, sex is an appetite. Like hunger, it must be controlled and disciplined. So, it is an appetite. Like food na dinidesire ng isang tao na kailangan ito ay makontrol. So, you must have to control your appetite. And it must be disciplined. And sex is within marriage alone, not outside marriage. Next, sex is for procreation. To bring life and continue God's creation. So, yung pag-aasawa kasi is for reproduction. So, wala nang ibang yun, purpose. So, pag hindi makareproduce ang mag-asawa, maliban na lang kung sila ay barren, then isa sa kanila, then hindi naman yun nila ginusto. But when we say procreation, it must be husband and wife, man and woman. Okay. So sex is for recreation and release, a joyful pleasure gift within marriage. So sex is not just for the sake of releasing, but it's also recreation. So it's not just a release for the man, but also for the woman. Recreation. So next is sex is for communication. It deepens oneness beyond words. So, through sex, yung mag-asawa ay mas lalo silang naging close. Kaya dapat nating tandaan. So example sa sex is an appetite. Choosing purity before marriage reflects self-control and respect for God's design. For procreation, nandyan yan sa Genesis 1:28. Di ba yung sinabi, be fruitful and increase in number. And then sa recreation naman, example sa Song of Solomon, mababasa mo, the poetic language celebrates the beauty of marital intimacy. So mababasa yan sa Song of Solomon from the Manual of Life. So, a couple, for example, sa sex is for communication. A couple uses intimacy to express love, forgiveness, and unity after conflict. So, laging doon ang conclusion. Okay. Another one that we must remember, principles for healthy sexual relationship in marriage. Mutual respect and openness in expressing needs. So, dapat hindi pinipilit yung isa. Dapat ay, na kung ayaw ng isa, hindi pipilitin ng isa. Dapat ay pareho sila. Meron silang mutual understanding. Another one, sensitivity to each other's emotional and physical needs. So, dapat maintindihan ng babae na ang need ng lalaki is sex. One of their needs is sex is like an appetite that they have to control, but for a woman, she must also understand. Okay. Another one, ask in every action. Does it edify? Nakakabigay lakas ba ito or nakakapagbigay ba ng magandang resulta sa inyong relationship? Ayan. Okay. Yun ang dapat tanungin. So, sex within marriage is sacred when it builds intimacy, trust, and unity. Outside marriage, it brings shame, guilt, and distance from God. So, alam natin, kasalanan yon outside marriage. Okay. So, principles to remember. So na-explain ko na kanina ito, sex is not love, sex is not spiritual, sex is 100% physical and chemical. So it means is a chemical reaction. There is a 100% physical and chemical reaction is like emotion. Sex is an appetite, that's why it needs to be you have to be disciplined. Kailangan marunong ka mag-control. Sex is for procreation, sex is for recreation and release. Sex is for communication. The more you will become closer sa mag-asawa. Sexual fulfillment and happiness in marriage depend on an open, loving, accepting, and affirming environment in which each spouse feels comfortable making his or her needs and desires known to the other. So, you need to be open. And number 9, a solid biblical guiding principle for all life, including sexual behavior, is to ask the question, does it edify? So that is very important. Don't just do it, but you have to ask this question, does it edify? So dapat yun yung tatanungin. So napakahalaga yon. So in conclusion, engagement and marriage are not just personal decisions. They are spiritual covenant. So if sex is not spiritual, but covenant between marriage is spiritual. Is a covenant more than agreement or contract. So when we redeem the engagement season, we prepare not just for a wedding day, but for a lifelong partnership rooted in faith, wisdom, and love. So paulit-ulit nating sinasabi that engagement is a preparation for marriage, not for the wedding, because wedding is just one day and marriage is for lifetime. Therefore, you have to prepare for the marriage. That is the time during the engagement. So marriage is not sustained by emotions, but by principles, spiritual unity, financial partnership, educational cooperation, and sexual purity. And when these are built on God's foundation, love not only survives, it thrives. Okay, so for your activity, mahalaga na maintindihan ito. And lastly, a house divided against itself will fall. Luke 11:17. But a house built on Christ, the solid rock will stand through every storm. So always remember those principles that we have discussed. Okay, so ang assignment ay the activity for this video is for the quiz. Okay, so yung activity sa video na ito ay magbibigay ako ng quiz through this topic. Okay, so that's all for this video. God bless everyone.